Hey, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening. You know the drill. Hey, everybody. Glad to see you. Glad you're all here. And yeah, the beard's going strong. I just noticed that. Probably ought to trim it. But anyway, you guys don't care about that stuff. Good to see everybody. I'm prepared with not one, but two mugs of coffee today. And yeah, I'm just ready to jump into it. And I'm joined today by a wonderful guest. It's Jamie, and let me get him in here so you all can see him. Jamie, what's up, buddy?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
I'm doing good, really good, man, really good.
I apologize for the background because I put the washing on and now the washing machine's decided to go really loud.
No, you're good. You're good. You got to have clean clothes, buddy. Clean clothes are important.
That's very true.
Yep, yep. So hey, no problems at all. If you've noticed, this is not the most professional setup. My mic doesn't even work right now. Don't know what happened to it. Anytime I turn it on, my camera turns off. There's something going on. But hey, we're here and get used to it. Oh my gosh! And we've got somebody in the background. I haven't seen her pop up. Give us a thumbs up. Are you ready to come in? Yeah. We've got Ellie with us as well. Hey, Elle.
Hello. Sorry I'm a bit late, but I had a really important call to do.
Yeah, you're good.
Then Jose phoned me.
For about Saturday, right?
Yeah, he asked, well, Sunday, he asked me to send you the pictures of myself and Chang. I think you've already got them, haven't you?
I think so. Yeah, if I dig around a bit.
Ash can't do the show, can she? So
no, yeah, everybody, spare thought for Ash. Ash isn't doing too good. I don't know if we're supposed to say, but Ash is ill. So everybody wish Ash the best. She'll be back soon, no doubt. She's a tough cookie. Yeah, big love to Ash. So Ellie, you're good though, right?
Yeah, I'm really good. I've got my Spurs hat on.
I saw your post today on WhatsApp too with the new kit. You looked fresh. You're looking fresh.
Yeah,
so.
I like that. I was mucking about with TikTok and having a bit of fun because I get bored at home because I'm retired. All I've got is cats and 4 walls.
There you go. There you go. The cats though, they'll keep you busy.
Yeah. My cat now, she's sitting on my bed.
Jamie, you got any cats? What? Oh, you got a fat cat just like I do.
He is a fat cat.
I'm not a big fan of cats.
Oh, you're not a big fan of cats, Jamie. That's okay. We'll let you stay.
I like drama queens. They just ruin everything.
They do. Like I was telling you, my keyboard is missing keys because my cat just gets up and just rips them right off.
I like the picture you had of your cat in the sink.
Oh man,
that was hilarious.
I was just gonna go wash my hands, and I was like, well, I guess not. I guess I use the kitchen sink.
You can wash your cat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he would have been mad. But look at this. We've already got a bunch of lovely people in the chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and just get through and say hey to everybody. Make sure we said hey. We've got Ryan G in the house, and I'm pretty sure that he's officially a Spurs supporter at this point. He says he supports Wolves, but he's always here, and we're glad for it. Good to have you, Rye. Rye guy,
Yeah.
and he says, make sure to hit the like on the way in. And he's right. Please do that if you
Yeah.
haven't already. It would make me happy. And who doesn't want to make me happy, right? All right. And
No.
then we've got Adrian,
Yeah.
aka Spurs Diehards TTID, the ringleader of you rowdy bunch.
Yeah.
Big up
He
to
is.
Adrian. He's got to corral you guys. Somebody's got to do it. Then there's me saying I was having a tech problem, but I'm here now. Spurs Bench, aka JBG, Johnny Bethnal Green. That is his new channel. Everybody, I'm gonna get that link up, and we're gonna get some subs over to Spurs Bench. It's a brand new channel. Started today actually, and it's gonna be a really good one. It's a really cool, fresh idea. We'll talk more about that for sure as things go on. Look who else we've got. We got David Shear.
I spoke
What's
to
up?
him today.
Yeah, David, do
Yeah,
you
I
ever
did that.
sleep, man? Do you ever sleep? I got a
Not
couple hours
really.
last
I
night
told you I'm
myself.
an insomniac.
Yeah,
I look good for somebody who hasn't slept for 6 years.
you're lovely. Of course, of course, of course.
Literally.
So we got David laughing at me for being late.
Yeah, it's a woman's
Fair.
prerogative to be late, but not a man's. Come
I
on.
I know. What was I doing? It's okay. I had to get my second coffee just in case I needed it. So
Yeah.
we've got Phil Coy's in the house, and big up people in the chat, and big up Call. Hey, big up back to
Boys.
yourself, Phil. Good to have you here, man. Yeah, and Ryan, there's some. Yep, it's a bit wild, but we're gonna try to stay away from the wildness as much as possible.
Yeah.
What else we got here? Just some more of everybody. Ooh, Rob Belcher. We haven't said hi to Rob Belcher yet. Good afternoon to all talking ballers. I like that name for you
What a
guys.
lovely man.
My talking ballers. Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rob, good to have you here as always, man. You know I always got time for you, Rob. Nige is in the house. What up, Nige? Yeah, everybody, smash the likes like Nige. Nige gets it. Who else? Audio Artisan.
I've just smashed the like.
Yes, Ellie, you angel. Appreciate you. Audio Artisan, though, is here. I think he's just here hoping that I do another cat rap. I don't know if you guys have heard my cat rap. I might play it at the end of the show today. It was my first ever YouTube video. So, yeah, there's that. Who else we got? We got Graham, Spurs GCTV. What up, brother? We got... Ooh, Danny Reese. Hi, Danny. Nice to have you here today.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. Nige is saying get well soon, Ash. Of course. Good stuff.
Send on all the love to Ash, innit? For
sure. Danny, big up though. Super glad to have you here. And it looks like you got a membership. You're super kind. Thanks for being here. Ryan G's got 4 cats. I've only got 2, and I feel like that's too many sometimes. Ryan, how do you get by with 4? I feel like you must constantly be changing a litter box, man.
Yeah. And sweeping up litter.
Yeah, exactly. Mikey Romero. I won't call you Mikey more today if I can help it, Mikey. Big up Spurs family. Afternoon those overseas and morning in the U.S. Yes, sir. You know it. 10:20 here where I live.
I just put the show on our Twitter for you.
Thank you, Ellie. Thank you.
It's all right. Your pleasure. My pleasure.
Good people around. Good people everywhere.
Yeah.
And what else I got here? I think we've caught up. I think we said hey to everybody. And if I missed you, let me know. Let me know in the chat. Say you so-and-so, you missed me. How dare you?
Yeah.
And then Ryan says the plan wasn't half for. I took in a stray who had kittens under my shed and never had have changed anything. They're well easy in and out when they want. That must be nice, dude. That must be really nice.
I reckon it should be a national crime if you miss talk and ball.
I think so too. I think you're right.
Be put in prison.
Yeah. Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Yeah. I'm just going to do a nice design for you on my Instagram. So I'll do a lovely design for you, but more manly because I do girly ones for me.
Hey, it's okay. Girly ones are fine.
Manly.
I'm not too worried. I'm not afraid to be a little girly every now and then. You know, you got to be in touch with your feminine side. And then Nick Brown jumping straight into business, and I love Nick's comment here. Nick is all business, no fluff. He's saying if we progress well, then I don't see Ange sacked anytime soon. I'm hoping January we can bring in a senior player, big up. And I guess what better time than now to just get into the show itself, the real meat and potatoes, they say, of the show. And I'll just ask you a really basic question, and you can answer it with a yes or a no. You can go into more detail. Don't mind. And everyone in the chat, get involved. Of course, I'm going to get your stuff in here. I'm going to do this new thing, though, where I try not to just outright agree with everybody. I really like to be nice and just like make friends. And so I just say, yeah, agreed, 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 even if I sometimes don't. So I'm going to try to be a little more honest today. We'll see how that goes. I might lose some
You may be a
subscribers.
bit more bitchy.
Maybe a little bit, but we'll try. I'll be as good as possible. But I wanted to ask you guys, will Big Ange get to see out his contract at Spurs? He'd be the first manager in a long time to do so. And I guess, Jamie, you were here first. So what do you think, man? Do you think we're going to see a manager finally finish out their contract?
I really, really hope so, because like I put on Twitter the other day, Ange is probably the first manager since Poch that I've actually got a nice relationship with, because like Conte, Mourinho, they were literally just there for managers. They wasn't really ones that you love. But Ange, there's something about him. I don't know what it is. It's like I want him to be my father. But yeah, no, I hope he does. I was having a chat with my brother the other day. He reckons he's going to be gone before Christmas.
Oh, man, I disagree. See, that's one of those things I disagree with. But your brother is totally entitled to his opinion,
Oh, yeah, no, I don't agree with him, but that's rivalries with your brothers, isn't it? So, I hope he does stay. But if he doesn't, on to the next one, I guess.
I don't know if you can see my mug. It says Cat Dad. So I'm really repping the cats today. But yeah, I'm really hoping that he does too. Ryan G says, Carl, if you disagree with something, then say it. Nothing wrong with disagreement, 100%. And if everyone agrees, where's the fun in that,
Yeah.
So, Jamie, you hope so, but you're not so sure. Your brother says no.
My brother says no. He reckons December because Ange won't change his system.
December is my birthday month, so I would be awfully bummed out if he left for my birthday.
So it's basically blame you.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Daniel, Daniel Levy, if you're watching this, for my birthday, don't sack Ange. Audio's saying that he hopes so, but if he was putting money on it, he would say no. Ellie, we've come to you, my lady. What say you about Ange and his contract? Do you think he'll see it out?
Yeah, I do. Even though I don't agree with some of the things that he's done so far in terms of the high line, I don't really like it, and I know
you don't.
I sort of fell in line with Ben Kaufman because he was saying, Ellie, I don't like the inverted fullbacks. I don't like it. Because I'm quite a traditionalist. I like a traditional fullback and a traditional left back and a number 6, and we don't play with any of those. So, but it is a good system. Don't get me wrong. It's very exciting when it clicks and they're all focused and they're all disciplined and they're all in that vibe, It really does look good, but then they lose concentration for 1 second and we always get punished. Every time we lose concentration or we're out of position, we get punished. But other teams don't. I've seen it a lot where other teams have switched off and they don't get punished. But nearly every time we do, it's highlighted. And because we play this high line. But I think Postecoglou will survive it because I think Levy's learned his lesson. And if he does suck another manager, he's got to change the whole lot again. And that's going to be a big overhaul from the youth team to the under 18s, to the under 21s, to even the ladies team are playing.
That's a great point. Yeah, we've changed the youth setup to match to the senior team, and everyone's all playing on the same page now supposedly, and they're playing the same style from top to bottom. So yeah, that is a wonderful point. It wouldn't just be getting rid of Ange; it would be changing everything again. So very good point, Ellie. Very, very good point.
And it's also like, why spend all this money and then get rid of him in 12 months? It makes no sense.
Yeah, we've done wilder stuff though, unfortunately.
I think we're a stacking club lately, aren't we?
Yeah, and it's sad because I always at least used to make fun of teams for being like that, for being reactionary, for going through this manager merry-go-round. Chelsea was a team I laughed at them a lot,
Yeah.
and it's hard to laugh when it's your team doing it. So
The
yeah,
thing is, with them, Colin, you can laugh at them, but they've won things when they've sacked their managers. They've sacked maybe more managers than us, but they've had success. So we need to get success or keep with a manager who's going to bring us success. We probably would have got it eventually with Pochettino. I think
yeah.
he was on the verge.
If we had
We were
given him
just so
that
lucky.
rebuild that he asked for, like Poch wanted this rebuild that's happening now. That's what gets me is
Yeah.
that what Pochettino wanted, we're doing it just years and years down the road.
Yeah.
We've gotten rid of so much dead wood. We've gotten rid of players at losses, gigantic losses. Some of them. When you look at Gio's still here, right? But when Gio goes, or wait, did Giovanni Lo Celso, did he leave? Anyway,
He's
He
gone.
hasn't. He
He's gone.
hasn't. No, I think he has. I think he went to Real Betis, didn't he?
Yeah.
And
oh
I
yeah,
think
to take over
Reguilon's
for
the one who
Nabil Fekir. Yeah, you're right.
stayed. Yeah. I think
Um,
Reguilon stayed, didn't he? We can't get
yeah,
rid of Reguilon.
no, we can't.
We should get Jose to get him another Portuguese thing. Portuguese
Yeah.
kid.
I heard
There you go.
Turkish or something like that.
Hey, yeah, that could work. That could work. Maybe our boy Mourinho could take him.
Because he's been left out
Yeah.
of the European squad today, and also Jed Spence. So
Yeah, I saw the Jed Spence thing. We'll get to that. Don't let me forget though, because I don't have a banner for it. But we got Rob saying that he respects everyone's opinion, but to all those doubters saying it isn't going anywhere soon. Clip it if you like. I'm going with Rob. You can clip us both. Clip us. Nige disagrees, but that's all good. Nige, I love it. Nige says he won't see out his contract, and I'm not sure. Nige says he won't go this season. Just can't see him seeing the contract out. Oh, okay. He won't go this season. You just can't see him seeing out the whole contract. I misread that like a fool at first. Sorry about that, Nige. That's on
what
me.
I don't want to happen though. I don't want it's the same thing with Jose. Get to the final and they sack him because that would really piss me off.
No kidding. And
no.
we all know what would come next too. A certain former player scored a great goal against Nottingham Forest in a cup and hasn't done much else. Right, Ryan Mason. We don't want that.
To be fair, I didn't want Mason to stay. I think he should have gone with the others because it's just bringing all new stuff. But
yeah,
Ange's the manager. He knows more than me. So
well, I honestly think that it's the long-term goal of the Spurs hierarchy to have Ryan Mason take over someday. But we'll get to that too. We can talk about that more. Ryan's agreeing though. He's saying, Ellie, like you were saying, that it seemed like we were getting punished every time we have these like lapses in concentration, lapses in judgment. And he said it felt like we got punished every time Chelsea attacked the other week.
No. It's just we get punished and other teams don't. But it may be my perception, but yeah, I just think it's so sad that we do this high line. I don't like the high line. It's suicide of football.
And Ryan will have to let us know. Do Wolves play a high line? Do Wolves play a high line? I'm not really. I don't know for sure. I haven't watched enough of them to know for sure.
No, I think we're the only club that play the high line. Everyone's a forward.
We are.
The crap out of me.
Yeah, I kind of like it. It does scare me too, but if it works, when it works, it works. I do think though, and I will say, with Van de Ven not in, we absolutely need to drop that line back 10 yards. I think that the only reason that it works is because of Van de Ven, and so if Van de Ven's not playing, you gotta adapt somewhat. I'm all for a man sticking to their convictions. I'm all for a man, doing what they believe and fighting for what they believe in. But you also have to be a realist. You've got to see what is and isn't working. So yeah. Look at this. We got John Fitzpatrick in the house. What's up, Fitzy? Fitzy's holding Rob to it. He says that Ange has got 7 games left before he gets the bullet, and we start this whole cycle again. And in 18 months, we start again. For him, nothing changes until Enoch's still up. That is definitely a possibility, John. Good to see you in the house. It's been a minute. I always say that every time I see you, but it's real good to see you, John Fitzy. And even though I hope you're wrong, I don't know. Nobody knows. But I do think that it does look like we are ready to back Ange. And it also, I don't think Ange is going to walk. I think we've had managers in the past that were ready to walk, and I don't think Ange is going to do that. I think Ange is okay with kind of doing what's asked of him, and that'll piss some people off in and of itself. Some people.
I'm going to say, Colin, go back to the Van der Ven. I think he's the most crucial player out of everyone.
Definitely.
Because when he's not in, but everyone keeps saying they love Romero, how good he is. Romero irritates the hell out of me because he just takes the ball too long. But I think Van der Ven is our key player.
He's a very good defender, Romero, but he takes too long to pass the ball. But when he does pass it, it's usually effective, but he takes ages.
It was that Newcastle game. I've never swore so much at the TV to shout at one person. So it just takes too long.
Pass the ball.
We're losing 2-1. Possible? No. I'll keep it here. Oh.
He also finds himself.
Lamella used to hold on the ball too long as well.
Oh man!
I think it's the South Americans because they all do it.
Lucas Moura, anybody?
Yeah.
Oof, man, Lucas Moura was so frustrating. He dribbled past 4 players only to run straight into the 5th. But anyways,
there's the design.
Yes, Ellie.
Colin, look, flashing lights.
Showtime. I love it.
Right,
Thank you.
Put that out now.
You're an angel. Graham says, why is this even a discussion? Only a minority are pushing this agenda. The other thing is, it does not stack up financially unless there's a monumental collapse, as you would be back to square one. The one thing that worries me. Oh, sorry. No, Jamie.
I would like to know how much Ange is on though, because obviously Conte was on 15 million a season, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So,
he's on 2 million, they said. Only 2 million.
Oh, really?
And if he made Champions League, he would have made another £2 million bonus. That's what I heard.
Oh, bonuses.
That's why they sack him, because he gets a bonus.
Bonuses. Daniel Levy and bonuses. Name them more.
Can I ask a question though? If it wasn't Ange, who was your first choice before Ange? Because mine was Arne Slot. I've always wanted him, but if it wasn't, it was Thomas Tuchel, because I think he's a brilliant manager.
Oh no, another Chelsea manager.
I don't cast him as Chelsea. I cast him as Bayern and PSG.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Ever since Tuchel was the guy that had the whole handshake debacle with Conte, right?
Yeah.
That was a funny one. I don't know. He just seems like a smug butthole. I don't want a butthole leading our team.
He's very.
But then again, I was not a fan of Mourinho until he got here, and then I warmed up to him, and I said, you know what, this guy is okay. He's kind of funny when he is leading your team. It's kind of hilarious. So
I think he was only hired because of the documentary, because it would have made more money.
Oh my God, that is quite a cynical take, but it makes a lot of sense, man. It makes a lot lot of sense. You might be onto something there.
Money, aren't we?
Show me the money.
Because you look at that, all the reporters were saying when that documentary came out, because Jose was like world star, like he was like proper like movie material.
Yeah, he almost knew. It's almost like he was playing a role too. Like he knew he was hired for that. You know.
I love to be a second documentary because that'd be quite entertaining.
It'd be cool to have one. Yeah, this season would be sweet. I would love to know what's going on behind closed doors now. So to answer your question, I didn't really have a favorite. I kind of like this suicide football, to be honest. And the only other manager, I mean, Marcelo Bielsa could have been funny. That could have been a funny manager to have here. Could have worked, maybe. I don't know.
He's not big enough for Levy, is he?
But Ange isn't exactly a household name, or wasn't before he came. Obviously, what he did at Celtic, great. What he had done in Japan and in Australia and for the national team, all great. But yeah, he wasn't definitely not on the same level as Conte or Mourinho. So yeah, great question, Jamie. I don't have a good answer because I am an indecisive piece of crap sometimes.
Okay, well that's the show done, Colin. Thanks for having me.
Yep. Bye. No, just kidding. Of course. Get through some more of these comments. Eamon's in the house saying Ange will be here for 10 years. Levy loves him. Cheap to maintain. And that's a question I was going to ask you guys. I was going to take this comment and formulate it into a question. Do you think that Ange is happy with the signings that he's getting? Do you think he's happy with the young kids that we're getting in, or do you think that he is slightly disappointed? Do you think I can't tell if he's put his stamp of approval on these players or not, and I know it's impossible to know for sure. We're not going to, for one, he's never going to tell us until he writes a book someday, and two, we're just guessing. But Ellie, do you think that these players that we've brought in, do you think they've been signed off on by Ange? And let's even go a step further. Everybody gives Ange tons and tons and tons of crap for Timo Werner. Do you think Timo Werner was a signing that he wanted?
I don't know about Timo Werner. The thing is, I think he's a club signing myself, because I don't see Ange wanting him, because he
doesn't fit the mold.
He's on a decline. He doesn't score goals. He doesn't really assist that many goals.
Not as many as he should, for sure.
Last season, he wasted more chances than he created. Like, we could have been 3-0 up against Man United before they even scored, because he had 3 brilliant chances. And then he missed countless other chances. The one at Newcastle was awful, where he got his body shape wrong and skied it over the bar. I remember everything Timo Werner does, because you're scrutinising him, because fans generally didn't want him at the club because of the big wage bill and everything. But the other players, I think he genuinely wanted the youngsters, because they're very energetic. They're particularly really good, strong youngsters. They're not like youngsters that haven't got any potential. They're youngsters that have got potential, but they've even got first team ability, especially Bergvall. I think he's going to be the one that stands out amongst them all. But maybe Archie Gray might be the big surprise, because he's finding his feet, the young man, and it's a big club to come to, big boots to follow, because he's also a very versatile footballer. So he's not going to even find a particular niche that he's going to fit into. Angie's going to use him very cleverly. So, and then we've got what's his name? We've got Donnelly, who's gone to Leyton Orient on loan. Dorrington, I don't know whether he's recovered from his injury. And then we've got Yang, who's coming in January, February time. Kozvovic, the Croatian boy, he's coming around. Kozvovic, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
Be able to pronounce his name.
Vuskovic. Yeah, there it is.
My name's Gagurados. Bloody hell. Right. And then who else we got? We've got Archie Gray, Bergvall, and who's the other youngster we bought? Can't bloody think. So we bought Solanke as well.
Odebear.
19-year-old boy. Now, he impressed against Everton. He's just a little bit of his final ball, but he was so exciting to watch. And then he sort of flatlined against Newcastle away. So it's a bit of a mixed match. I think
19 though, second match.
To improve the first 11 solidly, right? Because he's not going to use all those youngsters, because he's already proved that he's only put Odegaard in from the start for the 90 minutes, but he took him off. He didn't give him 90 minutes. And then he played Bergvall bit parts and a little bit of Archie Gray, but nothing more. And Solanke's been injured, so we don't know what he's like yet. We saw him against Leicester away, and he was okay. He missed a few chances, but his movement was good. But I just generally think Ange wouldn't be that happy with that window. I don't believe that, because no manager would be happy with 3 18-year-olds, a 19-year-old, and a striker that's only come good once in one season, really. And the rest of the seasons he's been okay, and sometimes he's been poor. When he went to Liverpool, he only scored 1 in 25, I believe. Yeah, so.
But he was only young, right? I mean, he was pretty young at Liverpool, from what I remember. I don't know exactly how old he was.
He was pretty young, and it was a big club to go to, and maybe
a lot of pressure. Sometimes,
too early for him in his career. But I hope he does succeed at Spurs, because he is a good striker. I saw him at Bournemouth last season. He came first in a lot of stats that they were putting up, like headers, duels, that sort of thing. So. Yeah. I just hope he can live up to the season he had last season and go one better as well. Yeah.
And I mean, and he should be able to. I mean, everything points to him. Everybody plays better with a better supporting cast, and I mean, it's whether you're, no matter what role you're in, no matter what career you're in. I think if you've got better people around you, it makes you look better. It helps you to perform better. So hopefully that is the case with Big Dom Solanke as well. I just wanted to let you know, Mikey, I started this. We're going to come back to it. I'm not skipping this question because it's a good one that I thought about quite a bit actually. Spurs bench. My new favorite Spurs channel, by the way, says Romero isn't that quick thinking, but in his defense, he's looking for that through pass. Yeah, we've kind of asked him to take on that role of Toby. Kind of, his balls aren't over the top as much as Toby's were. Toby could place it on a dime, but we sort of asked Romero to do a similar thing with playing out from the back and getting our attack started. So yeah, big up, agreed.
Yeah, I like what Spurs bench done this morning. I watched it at Spurs bench. It was brilliant with his cigarette.
It was
really cool.
Yes.
Bit like Danny Dyer-ish, but it was so cool. Sorry to compare you to Danny Dyer, but you're
I don't know
cool.
who that is, so I can't say it.
Like very laid back and like didn't give a shit about anything.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
We're all Spurs fans. We all should unite, not be like at war with each other. No way.
Yes. Yeah. And thank you everyone for not bringing the war to the comments here today. I do appreciate that. I was going to ask everybody not to. Everyone's doing a great job. Tekken's in the house though. Good afternoon, room and panel. Hope everyone's well. So saddened to see Spence omitted from the Europa League squad. Was really excited to think that before today, we'd see Spence.
Yeah, I think he's fallen out of favour again. He probably arrived late for training, I reckon, because he's notorious for that.
Yeah, that's something that's followed him around from club to club. So, yeah, very possibly. Jamie, did you think we were going to see more of Spence this season after his preseason showing?
I thought more in the Europa League than the actual league itself, but that's out of the question now. I don't think it's to do with like an attitude issue. I think it's to do tactical, because I think we've hit the quota anyway for the homegrown, so maybe we're too much over. I don't know. I've not read Ali Gold's document yet.
Yeah, me neither. I need to. Ali Gold's a smart dude. Say what you want about him. The guy's got his ear to the ground. He's obviously got some kind of a source inside the club, no matter how big or small, and he does get a lot of information right. So yeah.
I know. I love Ali Gold. I met him once when I was out at the ground. Really really headstrong.
He seems really cool and just like a regular guy, just one of us, but that just happens to have a cool job where he gets to. I get the vibe he loves Spurs as much as we do, though. It doesn't just seem like a job for him.
I think he did say, because obviously he's a massive Spurs fan anyway. But it's hard he's got to put his journalist hat on when he's there, so it's harder for him.
I bet it'd be a challenge for me to be objective about Spurs.
I wouldn't get any work done. I wouldn't get no work done at all. I'd just watch the game.
Yeah.
I'd get fired after a day.
Like when he goes, Alistair Gold here. He always starts it the same way, but he's a very personable guy. I saw him when he was on Free Spurs Boys with Christian Jai, and he was brilliant with the kids. He was fantastic.
Whoa, he was on Three Spurs Boys?
Yeah, they invited him on.
What the hell?
And
I need to check that out.
They had Vega on as well, which was really good for them. And
I can't believe I missed it.
I got a Mickey Hazard on.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Where have I been?
Mickey's a lovely guy.
Where have I been? I need to check this out. I apologize for missing it. Damn.
Well, good thing I can. Everybody tune in. Good
thing I can go back and watch YouTube. It lives forever. But Graham is clarifying to us that he wasn't referring to Ange's salary so much as buying the players to suit his system. If we get a new manager, we have to start the process all again. I agree, man. I agree.
How many rebuilds can Tottenham have?
My only fear is that we were buying these young players based on this data-driven model thing that Longa and co are up to, and maybe I don't know. I hope they're for Ange. That's all I'm going to say.
Can I say?
Jamie, cut me off. You don't have to. I'm just saying, you don't ever have to ask me if you could talk. You just do it.
Everyone moaned about Spurs needs to be like Brighton with the data-driven, and now we're doing that, and we got the players that we wanted in. And people are still moaning, so I just don't really understand it. It's like, what do you want us to do?
People will always find something to complain about. I complain about shit all the time. Always. I'm always complaining. So I get it.
I could put a little bit of spanner in the works, but not detrimental to Spurs. What I would say is that we should have got more first team players who are going to start for us, who can challenge the Madisons, who can challenge the Basumas, because when they get too comfortable, boys, they tend not to perform. Like we've seen Basuma perform out of his skin against Everton, and he played really well, and he bossed the midfield, and it was the Basuma of old. And then he goes to Newcastle, and he plays rubbish, and like he didn't get involved, he didn't get like stuck in, he was always off the pace, and I'm thinking we're getting like a Jekyll and Hyde players, you know.
I agree. This is why we need like a couple of first teamers competing with each other, because if you've got kids against them, they're just they know they've got their place. It's like Maddison. I like him, but will he be in the starting lineup all the time if Bergville's performing? Probably.
He shouldn't be
because he's a bigger name.
But I don't think he should be. And I get what you're saying. That's a problem. I don't think he should be in the starting 11 just based on name alone, because he performs sometimes, other times he's anonymous. And I get there are players that are worth it to have on the pitch even when they're like that, because when they're on, they can win you the match. But bar a couple of games whenever he first came, he hasn't really taken any game by the scruff of the neck. He hasn't really, dominated an entire match. He hasn't put on a 10 out of 10 display, I don't think, since the first few matches of last season. So
I think that's where we failed in the market. We needed to get another person that's a first teamer to compete against him.
I do think Bergvall is going to be that guy, but is he ready? That is a good question. So I just want to say hey to AJ. AJ's in the house. Big up, AJ. Long time no see. Hope you're having a good time on your trip, my man. And looking forward to having you back on the show too, buddy. And Destiny 5's here. Look at this, man. All of the regulars are in the house. Always good to have you guys. He's bigging up everybody. Nia just pointed out, Timo hasn't started this season. Ange would rather play a 19-year-old. Ange 100% didn't want Werner. It's a cheap club signing.
I agree.
Can I go back? Can I answer that question? I think he wanted him at the first season. The second season, I thought Levy probably was saying, "Oh well, we can get him for 12 million if we get him for one more year." And I think that second season was a club signing.
I can see it. See it. And a cheap backup. A player that won't mind sitting on the bench. I mean, it makes sense. Do I think it's a great idea? No. I do have a problem. I don't understand how a player goes from being as prolific in front of goal in Germany to coming here and then just forgetting how to score goals. I understand that the league is harder. I understand, but it's not like he's not getting himself into positions to score. He's getting himself into the right positions. It's just like when it actually comes to putting the ball past the keeper. And you also can't tell me there's a big enough difference in keeper ability, keeper ability between, the Premier League and the Bundesliga. I don't believe that. So I wonder what happened to him. If it was all a confidence thing. Was it all a confidence thing for him?
No, I think he doesn't get in the positions, right? And when he doesn't get in the positions, you thinking, what are you doing, Timo? Why are you standing behind the defender when you should make an angle for yourself, pull yourself out, or go into the 6-yard box where we know Brennan Johnson's going to flash it across? And he was very successful. 2 times he scored like that, and he should have learned from that. But no, he stands behind the lummox of a defender who's about 2 foot taller than him, and he gets fanned out. And I think he's goal shy sometimes. He lacks confidence, and the football IQ in front of goal is a lot less than when he's running at a play, because he's quite effective when he's got the ball. He's quite a good dribbler, keeping the ball, nurturing the ball. He's got good technique, but in front of goal, he loses all of that. And there must be a psychological problem with him.
Has to be, because he was pretty prolific for a season or two there over on was it when he played
Germany?
Was it when he played for
Borussia
Dortmund,
well.
I think.
It's not like a rubbish league.
No, not at all.
He played
No,
for RB Leipzig, didn't he? He scored 40-odd goals.
That's the one.
I think the only thing with him, he's got the speed. He's just got no end product.
But weirdly, he did. I mean, I know that you could have a hot season.
He had the bit of end product, but not enough. It's not enough with Werner. That's why nobody came in for him. When we went for him, nobody else went in for him.
That's probably another reason why Levy pushed for it, because Levy knew there wouldn't be any competition for the signing. So that's another good point. Another damning piece of evidence that maybe he was Levy signing all along.
But that means Spurs and Levy today.
I know. Sorry, Levy. Hope you're not watching this. And Donna's not here, so we're good. He is a better businessman than some people I can think of.
The guy irritates me, Levy, but what he's done for the club outside is brilliant. It's just the football's lacking, and that's what upsets me.
Yeah, what he has to do, he has to bring the club up financially. Yes, that's fantastic, because you need money to survive, and you need money to compete with the big boys, because these big boys are massive now. Like the Arabs, like of Man City, they're like huge. The Arabs at Newcastle, they're huge. They can click their finger and they can get any player, right? Especially Pep Guardiola, because he's got kudos as well. Eddie Howe's still not there yet, so probably they'll replace Eddie Howe, I reckon, in future.
I think you're right, but with who? You almost did it. Eddie Howe's done such a good job. I think he would have been.
Klopp. I reckon Klopp would come back to England.
Damn, the Liverpool fans would riot.
A sleeping giant,
Wow. I thought Poch was going to take over Newcastle before he went to America.
That's another name that.
That's a weird one for me. That's a weird one. Poch coming to the U.S. to manage our national team. Maybe we'll actually win something. I know that doesn't matter much to you guys, but maybe I'll get to see my national team do.
It's all right, Colin. England don't win nothing either, so you're going to be in the same boat. So.
Yeah,
exactly. We're all in this together. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
We can be depressed together.
It's Spain are winning everything. Jose is very happy.
I know. He's got the double. He's got the blessing of being both English and Spanish, so he can just he can always be happy. But hey, a good question here from Quez, or a good point, I guess I should say. First of all, Quez says, "Hey everyone, what's up, Quez?" Yeah, and he's saying he loves Ange's tactics, loves the high line, loves the inverted fullbacks. We just need to get better at timing the offside trap. Dragic proved that he could play the high line. And then he goes on to say he had the pace to track back and make the tackle. We all know what tackle you're talking about, Quez. That was the most perfectly timed slide tackle I've seen in a while. So the system works. It's risky, but they will improve and they will build their confidence. The attack is more concerning, in my opinion. I will say, Quez, I think that, and I want to get the panel's opinion, I think that the attack is concerning in that we can't put a chance away to save our lives. I think if you put a gun to them and said, score a goal or you're dead, I think they'd die. They would just be dead, because I don't think they could do it. But it's not like we're not creating the chances. You know what I mean? You guys agree? Like,
Colin. They'll be dead.
I don't know what else to say. But
I would say if you don't score, you don't get paid. I'm sure they move a lot quicker.
Yeah,
that's good.
Score.
Daniel Levy would be behind that. You could probably sell Daniel Levy on that right away.
$0 this week.
No money.
Werner, he'll start scoring.
Shit, maybe that's
he's on
that's the way to go.
I think he's on 175. I think they've improved it.
Yeah, I think he's the third highest.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, Sonny must be thinking, bloody hell, what do I have to do to get a break here? Werner comes in and nearly gets as much money as me.
Yeah, no, it is wild. That is a wild thing to think of, and you never want to upset the apple cart. Is that the expression? I don't know. You never want to make players mad when it comes to money. Yeah, because you got to be careful with that. Whoa, look at this, guys. Jess is here from JSY Talks Football Fan Channel. Long time no see, Jess. Glad you are here. Nice to have you.
That's it.
but yeah, do you guys? I mean, if we start winning matches, it really will be the old you score 5, we'll score 6 type of thing. I don't ever think we're going to be the team that keeps clean sheets. It's just not the way the system is designed. But if we start putting away our chances, does that matter? And it brings me to this point I had with Solanke coming back after international break. Will we see results improve? Ellie, do you think that maybe we will, with a proper number 9 to put away those chances? His positioning will theoretically be better than Sonny's. He'll be able to handle the central defenders better than Sonny can. Do you think that we'll see some improvement?
Yeah, because We will, because Solanke, right, he's got a point to prove as well, because everybody's doubting him. A lot of Spurs fans are doubting him, yet alone other fans. And he's got a point to prove. And I think he will step up. I really do. On the chances we create, I think we were the biggest creators in the league last season. So we can create for him, right? And I think the other players need to step up, though. Like the Brennan Johnsons, I don't know, he's as flat as the sea sometimes, but his stats last season, they were pretty good. He created 10 chances, 10 assists and 7 goals, I think it was. Yeah. 17 goal contributions, that's fantastic. But when you watch him with your eye, you're thinking he's quite disappointing because he doesn't do enough, but he does produce. So
I think it's the look on his face that gets me. He always looks like he's in a great deal of pain. Yeah, he just looks like he's hurt.
You know, he's a very thoughtful boy, and he's quite a shy lad. You know, he's not. He's quite a humble, shy lad. When you see him coming into training, he's always like he's not the one who's loudest and proudest. You know,
so we need Madison to teach him how to have an ego.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of players that have to step up. Kulusevski started quite well. I'm quite impressed with him, and I like his new role. And Odegaard looked good against Everton. I just hope that we don't burn him out because he's only 19. And it's a big
I hope the same. Him. And we need to give him time for that exact reason. He's only 19. You know, we can't. I know a lot of people are not a lot of people. There's some people that are very critical of Odegaard. I'm not one of them. I mean, I'm seeing promising things. And people will say, like, what are you seeing? And where's the stats? And stats be damned on this one for now. You know what I mean? Like, let's just look at the kid. Let's look at the positional awareness he has, the fact that he's willing to go inside his man. He's willing to go outside. Yeah. He's willing to, you know, a lot of our players at times don't look like they want to even receive the ball. They're kind of shy away from it, but he will always make himself available.
I'll tell you what, Colin, Odegaard got people up off their seats at that Everton match. They were all excited because he's a very quick player and he's quick feet and he's lightning, right? So he's a bit like Aaron Lennon. He reminds me of Aaron Lennon when Aaron Lennon came to Spurs.
That was my next question. That's perfect.
If he could do the end product as well, we've got a player on our hands there. It takes time. But even Adrian said only 3 out of 64 crosses lead to goals. And I thought that stat was, I didn't think that stat was so accurate, but I looked it up and it is. So, you know, crossing the ball, I think it's better to work the ball across the 18-yard box and the 8-yard box and get a tap in or get a belter, because we've been scoring all sorts of goals this season so far. So I think there's a lot of potential. I just hope that the potential leads to fruition and they gel together as a team, you know. Even the youngsters coming in when they get their chance, especially Bergvall, because Irish Hotspur put my name with Mr. Bergvall, so he has to live up to his name now because everybody's excited about him. Just put it that way.
Definitely, and from what we've seen, I mean, he looks the real deal. Big up Irish Hotspur, by the way. It's been a while since I've seen old Dave. Hope Dave's good. But Jamie, I want to throw this question down here to you. Do we think Ange has had more control than the last few managers or less?
I think it's the same, if I'm honest, mate. I don't think managers have that much control as everyone thinks. I think it's the board or whoever's in charge, like directors. So they might mention a name saying, "Oh, do you want this person?" But they go, "Yeah, I want A," but then he gets C because it's cheaper.
And no manager's ever going to come out and say, the board's screwing me. They're giving me all these players I don't want. I mean, if you're Conte, you might. But
yeah, I was going to say, what Conte did, and he was gone pretty much 2 days later, wasn't he? So,
yeah, he learned the hard way.
But he was frustrated because he wasn't getting what he wanted, which I can understand.
How's he? I don't even mean this sarcastically. How's he doing at Napoli? I don't
think he's doing that great.
Maybe.
I'll tell you.
Because I think they lost
it.
Ellie, the Google Queen, we appreciate you.
I think they lost the game. But then I think they're like maybe.
They won their first game 2-1. They won their second game 3-0. And they won their third game 3-0. So they are doing quite well.
Oh, okay, I must have a free season.
Oh, shit. Okay. He did. I did see him in like a post-match thing where he was pretty pissed off, but that's not unlike him. I think he'd be pissed off if they were winning every game. So, um, yeah. So what else we got in here? Destiny says, "Is bro playing FIFA?" Oh, Jamie, are you playing FIFA right now?
Yeah, I'm just playing FIFA. Yeah.
That's hilarious. He was right. Big up Destiny 5.
There's 6 in the league though, because when I gave you those things, it was one of them was a friendly. So they've actually won 2 out of 3 games. They've lost one to Girona, who were very good last season, if you recall.
Jed Spence, yeah.
They're all right.
That is where Jed Spence was.
Girona.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Inter are top.
Else? Who are Inter? That makes sense. That makes lots of sense. Whoa,
Who's
guys! It's getting a lot more American in here. We've got Alan. Hold on, I want to switch this around. So we got Americans together and we got British together.
Whoa, the hat's looking fly.
Oh, thank you.
That is a sick hat, bro. You're gonna have to send me a link to where you found that because I can't find very many good Spurs hats.
Wow.
My aunt sent it to me actually, so I'll find out where she got it.
What a lovely name you've got yourself there, my friend.
Love it.
Thanks.
Yeah. So Alan, how's your day going?
Good. Just busy, but good.
Good deal, man. I'm glad. Thank you for jumping in. I know I invited you at the literal last possible second, so thanks for jumping in, dude.
No problem.
Yeah, it's always good to have you here. And what else have we got? So, well, I saw a comment that I thought was pretty cool. Oh, and it was Destiny just asking, how are Chelsea allowed to sell a hotel to balance the books? It's unfair. Corruption.
Chelsea
that brown envelope going across the table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gave him a box of chocolates, and the box is lined with 100-pound notes. And there's something going on. There's something going on there. Yeah, Destiny, good question. But we can't worry too much about them. We got our own worries. So I wanted to throw this out. And Alan, it'd be perfect to get you involved. Just with I'm just gonna throw you right into the fire. I see a lot of people saying that Ange has been found out. For one, I don't buy that because he's been playing the same style for more than a decade. If you're just now finding him out, that's not a good sign on you. But anyways, does a manager who has been found out usually have their team creating so many chances? I guess what I'm asking in a jerk roundabout way. I'm being kind of a dickhead about it, so sorry. But do you think Ange has been found out?
No. I mean, look, he to a certain extent, I think people have learned how to adjust to Ange's style, the high line, but there's plenty of teams that play a high line and will just kick long balls over the midfield into the defensive area. My only criticism, and I did a video of it very recently, my only criticism, which isn't to say I don't back Ange. I back Ange. I 100% want him to be backed. I'm Ange in. I'm not used to coaches who stick to one style when they have a different mix of players. I guess the way I see Ange's system, he really needs a dedicated number 9, like the Solanke that we have, or Richarlison. Not Son so much, because I don't think Son really is the 9 that we need.
Agreed.
And I guess when your mix of players change, personally, I would like to see the style of football change slightly. It doesn't have to change everything. Just maybe say, look, with the mix of players I have, maybe the high line and the all-out attack all the time. We saw it didn't work because we saw how many opportunities we had that we didn't succeed in. We made a lot of opportunities, but we scored nothing. I mean, we did technically. Johnson forced Dan Burn to put the ball in, and that was going to go in. So I get that, but we had a lot of opportunities, 2/3 of the possession, and we really didn't put it in. So I wonder if does that mean maybe the tactic that we were using at the time wasn't working? maybe something slightly different to fit the mix of players that he had at the time. Like if we had Solanke, that system works, right? Because he puts away, I believe he would put away a few of those balls into the back of the net, and the fact that Newcastle scored twice probably wouldn't have mattered, because we probably would have scored 4 or 5 goals. So, and we're used to giving up a couple of goals in the game, not keeping a clean sheet. That's okay, because we're playing a different style of football. So I don't think, to answer your question, long story short, I don't think he's been found out. I wonder if the come hell or high water, high line, all out attack is working with the mix of players that we have available to Ange.
And the different league. I mean, yeah. You're right. I've got onto managers in the past for being too stubborn and rigid in their ways. Yet I'm sitting here giving Ange more time to do his thing, and defending him. And so you could say I like to have it both ways, and I get that. Like my cake and eating it too, and all that good shit. But you're right. There probably does need to be some adaptation, at least in some games. I mean, obviously,
eating cake.
Hopefully not. That doesn't even sound comfortable. That sounds like it would. Yeah, that'd be a bad one.
Can I tell you something funny about SHIT?
Yeah,
just
of course.
Quickly. I just wanted. My husband, right? He was in my bad books yesterday because he stepped in poo, and then he brought it all into the house. At 8 o'clock in the morning, I was cleaning the whole of my house where he had stepped, the whole of the outside where he'd trodden. So he wasn't in my good books.
And Ellie, you got a nice house, and if I remember correctly, your carpet is pretty light colored, so that probably was showing up in there.
Wood floor in the
At least it's not carpet then. That could have been much worse.
Because the carpet in the porch, it was ruined, so I've put it in the garden for now until we jet wash it. We've got to jet wash it to get all the trees out. It's disgusting.
I'm going to say, with the whole Ellie, the poo thing.
Sorry to bring the tone of the.
No, it's good. It's good. It's lighthearted. I like it.
We can talk about Arsenal now because they're the same. They're poo.
I was going to say, just going back to the poo thing. When she said that, I pictured like Drop Dead Fred when he's all over the carpet.
Can I tell you a secret? I smiled like I knew what you meant, but I don't know what Drop Dead Fred is. I'm gonna have to Google it.
Rick Mao, he plays like an imaginary friend. It's a comedy back in like 90s.
It was a movie back in the 80s.
Sweet. Yeah, nice. I'll really check it out. I'm young. I'm only.
May he rest in peace. I think he passed away not a while ago.
Yeah, 2015. It was anniversary the other day.
Snap! Wow.
Yeah, well, he was the guy in Bottom. You ever seen Bottom? English TV show.
And it has what's her name? Oh man, she's really hot, and she was in.
Really hot. You got my attention. Who is this?
It's Kevin Kline's wife.
Oh yeah, I can't remember her name.
Katie something. Katie.
Yeah, I forgot. I didn't realize it was his wife because
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates.
Phoebe Cates. Yeah. Got her pulled up.
She was really good in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Yeah, man. I'll have to check her out. But okay, so another question I wanted to ask you guys, and this is another one that I think is gonna just lead to us pooping on people. But do you think we would have signed Odobert if we had gotten Eze, or was Odobert the backup? Was he a discount Eze, so to speak? And I'll start. And we haven't heard a lot from you yet, Alan, so I'm gonna start with you.
Odobert was a surprise. None of us knew he was even coming. So I don't know what the setup was even for him. Why did we choose Odobert? When were we scouting him? When we never even got any rumors about it. It just happened. So I can't say for certain, even if we had Eze, that we wouldn't have wound up with Odobert. Eze's older than Odobert. Odobert's very young. Was he only like 19?
Exactly
so
19. Yes, sir.
We may have picked him up regardless, because I feel like Ange is one of the plans, whether or not it's Ange's plan or whether it's the recruitment staff's plan for Ange, is to give him a young group of players to mold, so that, assuming Ange is still around in a couple of years, that we, hopefully he is, that we'll have all these young players who have grown up in his style of play. I think we most likely would have had Odebear regardless, because I just, he's not one of those players that we ever got a rumor about. He really wasn't on the wanted list, so to speak. So I'm wondering if he just was always going to be a part of our team.
Interesting. Jamie, I'll throw you the same question. But first, Donovan. Donovan, thank you for becoming a member, my friend.
Mr. Ostreicher.
I would say, what a lovely German-sounding last name. My last name's Sievers, Zfers, if you ask the Germans how to pronounce it. So I'm right there with you, man. Lovely to have you on board. Thanks for becoming a member. And yeah, we do shows quite a bit. Dang near every day, not so much, but anyway, hit the notification bell, man, and you'll always see us when we go on. And thank you so much for becoming a member. And look at this, Peter gifted 5 Talking Ball memberships. This always makes me so happy, because it means when I do the members call-in shows, you guys don't have any excuse not to show up. I'm gonna hold you guys to it. So Pete, thank you so very much. Tequila says, where's my membership? Did you have one before? I had a thing, Tequila, where like I didn't fill out like my tax papers or something for YouTube, and they just got rid of all of them. So that could have been what happened if you did have one and now you don't. Apologies for that. Oh no, okay. Big love, Tech. You're a member in my heart. So that's the thing. And hey, and I saw you on a show the other day, Tequila. So we need to get you on here now that I know that you make appearances. But just the biggest of big ups to Donovan and to Pete. Pete the paramedic. What time earlier you told us what time it was, Pete? 2:05, so it's 2:13 in Melbourne right now. Big up, big love. And look, Leo's in the house, because I saw someone say big up Leo. Where's Leo? There's so many comments. Without Jose here, I suck at getting through all the comments. But Leo is here. Big up Leo. There he is. Smile High Hotspur himself. Big up, homies. He says big up back, bub. And then, guys, I need to visit the little boys' room. I've had too much coffee. While I do that, I'm going to put Ellie in charge. And I wanted to ask this question. And this is, so January's looking a million miles away, but what position would you prioritize? And Ellie, you can be in charge of who goes first, who goes second.
Yeah.
So I'll be right back.
All right, I'll start with Alan, because he came in later. So, yeah, so there you go, Alan. There's the question. I know January's looking a million miles away, but what position would you prioritize?
So, Ellie, I would probably prioritize someone who could do the job of a 6. Yeah. I would also, because I know Ange doesn't play a dedicated 6, but we need someone that plays that defensive midfield position.
Yeah, I agree.
And I would get a backup goalie. We can't depend on Fraser Forster or Brandon Austin. So I think we need someone who can do the job in case Vicario gets hurt. Now that it seems like he is practicing more and being more physical, he opens himself up to the susceptibility of getting injured, because so I just want to make sure that we don't wind up with that Fraser Forster situation.
I agree with all of that. Yeah. Is there any other position that you might feel, so the goalie and number 6, they're your priorities? Is there any other position that you might think that we might need help in?
Well, yeah, because I'm curious. We left Jed Spence out of the Europa team, so I'm wondering, does that mean that something's going on and we're not prioritizing him as a backup to Pedro Porro? Maybe we do need another right back.
Proper right back.
Yeah, proper right back to kind of help out, and maybe that would allow some flexibility for Pedro Porro to move up a bit, maybe into the middle or even all the way to, because I personally would like to see him up in the right wing sometimes because I think he's fast, he's got a great shot, and he tracks back, but whereas I don't think Brennan Johnson really tracks back as much.
No, he doesn't really. And how about you, Jamie? What would you say?
It's pretty much the same, really. Number 6, because we're leaking so many goals, so we need that defensive midfield to kick someone if they're going to run past. But also, we need a left back. For me, I would move Porro up more on the right wing and get another right back because he can't defend that well. But going forward, he's so dangerous.
Yeah, he's wasted as a right.
He is.
Right
do you remember when we had Gareth Bale? He played left back. Was shocking. Redknapp put him in midfield. Now look at him. So I would use, because Porro was probably my favourite player at the moment, and I think he's had more shots than anyone out of our team, and he's a defender.
He was unlucky against Newcastle because all the shots he was putting in were thunderous, but they're getting blocked. Like Newcastle were defending like Trojans, especially Dan Burn. He was everywhere. That's why he scored the own goal, because he was everywhere.
And also, you think as well, when we got the inverted fullbacks, Porro's anyone shooting, Udogie doesn't shoot. So this is why I think we need Porro more on attacking right and have another right back.
Yeah.
Ooh. Donovan is being wild here, and he said, "You're not gonna like this, Ellie, but if we sold Romero to Real for 100 mil, brought in a quality 6 and another pace merchant CB like Van de Ven,
I actually do like that." Even though I do love Romero, don't get me wrong, right? But I think we need a quality number 6 more, and somebody like VDV who can recover. He needs help because Romero, right? He's not the fastest, he's not the slowest, and Dragushin, he's not the fastest either.
Oh gosh, yeah, Dragushin's even slower than Romero, I think, probably.
Yeah, he is, because he's quite a big lad for him to move and get the pace up. Once he's got his pace up, he's not too bad because he's done that recovery tackle. That was fantastic. When he
just going to point that out.
He timed it really well as well.
I was going to say, as well, you guys might, well, some people might hate me for saying this. I reckon Romero's gone next season, regardless.
I don't think his stock's going to be any higher than it is right now either, too.
Well.
So I think
the reason why I think he's gone because we brought in Dragosin.
He's got ambition.
We've got that young kid coming. What's his Vuskovic?
Vuskovic.
I reckon Romero goes to Madrid next season, and then
that's what I reckon.
Dragosin and that young kid. I'm not going to pronounce his name. One of those two will be back. Because I feel Van de Ven is more key than Romero.
Definitely. And it's funny, Van de Ven was a guy that, I didn't want Van de Ven very much at the time. I thought that we were getting the discount option similarly to Vicario and the Rea deal. But look how integral he's become to our team.
I was the same, Colin. I wanted that, was it the Leverkusen Tuba, what his name is?
That's
what I wanted. And then Van de Ven, he's just brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like a freaking sports car. Sometimes people say that Romero is a Rolls Royce defender. Well, then if he's that, then Van de Ven is a freaking Ferrari. He's a sports car for sure. And this kind of brings us right into. I told Mikey I would bring his question back up, and this is the perfect time. Would you guys move Romero to the 6? Personally, I think he'd be good there, but I don't know if he would.
I think he would sent off every week. He's just
I think that he would kick up a fuss about it too, because it would probably hurt his chances of getting. Actually, scratch that. I almost said it would hurt his chances of getting into the national team. Dude, he walks into the national team. What the hell am I talking about? Never mind.
You look at Eric Dyer when he played defensive. He was so much better, but then for some reason let me go centre back, and it ruined his career at Tottenham.
Wasn't he a midfielder though?
He was. We signed him as a midfielder. I remember his first game. I was working and I got in trouble because he scored the winner against West Ham.
Exactly. He got on the left. He somehow ended up.
Yeah, on the left, he got the first because I remember Pochettino go, "No, what you doing?" and he scores the winner. So if he stayed in midfield, I think he'd probably be at Spurs now.
Wow.
Because remember that goal he scored against City, that thunderbolt when we smashed him. I think it's when Toby scored his first goal as well. We were 1-0 down, I think it was. And I think it was 3-1 or 4-1 we won. This is at the old White Hart Lane.
Mm-hmm.
That was when we were good.
I was like, I'm trying to think back. No, but that last year at White Hart Lane was something else. David says, sorry, but if we had the best defensive midfielder in world football, it wouldn't stop the goals we were conceding. Sorry, but that second Newcastle goal, that through ball, could have been played by a championship player. Yeah, I don't disagree that it was a
I agree and I disagree. If Van der Ven was there, that ball would not have got. He would have caught up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agreed.
Dragson's legs are he's just not quick enough.
Plus they probably
and he didn't understand the offside trap. He didn't understand where, you know what I mean, where he needed to be in relation to the rest of the defensive line.
Going back to the Newcastle game, I think the only thing Ange did wrong, he played Dragusin as a right back, as a centre right back. I think he should have kept in there because Romero went on the left, didn't he? He just doesn't look comfortable.
No, he doesn't. You're right.
So
you're very right.
Is that the one where Murphy played through and then passed it over to Isak for the goal?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was Joe Linton's played a really sublime ball. It wasn't a championship look. It was a very good ball.
It was a good ball.
He'd already tackled with Maddison, who was very weak, and he just bullied him. Then he played that magnificent ball, and Dragushin was he only needed to step 2 inches and he would have caught the player offside, but he was a bit slow, and Romero was slow getting round as well. So, you know, they switched off, and we got punished. So it's a shame, because we deserved to win that game. We had more chances, we had more possession, we had more of everything, but not more goals, and that's the most important stat at the end of the day.
Yeah, because I thought Johnson played really well when he came on.
He sure did. One of the best games I've seen him play.
There was a lot of people screenshotting that cross that he did when no one's in the box. Now, that to me, that's not down on Johnson. That's Son not getting forward enough, because he goes missing in games. Yeah, and he has been for a while. I know everyone loves Son. I like Son, but I think we should have cashed in him last year, because we need someone else, because he's getting on now. I think he's got a 1 year option to sign, isn't he?
I think he and I are the same age. So I think he's 33.
I disagree with the Sonny bit. Not that we shouldn't get rid of him, because we probably should do eventually, because he's such a good player. But what I would say is that he didn't want to go in, because there was 2 defenders there, and he saw that. So what he did, he held his ground, because he wanted Johnson to play it to him further out. So he was about 12 yards out.
Cut it back a bit.
Because if you notice, there was 2 solid defenders there, and if he went, he would have got lost in translation between those 2 defenders. And Sonny is not the most physical player. He looks big and strong, but when he comes up to a tackle, or if he's up against 2 big defenders like that, I don't think he stood a chance. So he stood back, and then Brendan Johnson, I heard that what's his name, Mason was told them. Somebody heard him shouting, just hit it across, because we scored an own goal. They scored an own goal like that. So he just whacked it across. So it's not Brendan Johnson's fault.
No,
and sometimes that's not a bad strategy. I mean, if you have a striker who knows the spaces to occupy, you kind of can. I mean, sure, it's not a brilliant thing, but you kind of can just smash balls into that area, you know, at low crosses, and you know, the striker will meet one of them and put it away. I think people are taking that. So I think it was Mason actually that was saying, you know, who don't even look, just cross it in. And like, I know that sounds bad in theory, but I do sort of understand, you know, if you're putting the ball in the right area, you know, it's kind of.
But saying that, they did training all week on those positions and doing that, and people are just not in the box. And then who gets the stick is Johnson. I feel for him sometimes, because he's a good player.
And he didn't choose his price tag. He didn't.
Exactly. People didn't want him because it's the player that they didn't want. Remember, it's not FIFA. I want players that we're not going to get. So, but because it was that bad where you had to limited his Instagram so no one can comment on it. When that upsets me.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe, you know, that's why, I mean, his confidence is clearly not where it needs to be. We're saying he needs to be more cocky, and, you know, but then at the same time, you know, we're a team. Ange likes good guys. He likes people that'll fight for the team. He doesn't want you to have a massive ego. So it's tough. You got to walk that line of having some ego but not too much, being a team player but also trusting yourself, and being willing to kind of be the individual that makes things happen at times.
Exactly. And you think
come.
Ali Gold said the same thing. Like, Johnson is Ange is one of Johnson's biggest things. He was him that he wanted. Yeah. So like clearly, Ange knows more than us. We support the club, but he sees it every day in, day out tactically.
Yeah, and he played as a forward as Nottingham Forest. He didn't play as a winger, so he's had
exactly
a game. So he's not as bad as people paint him. He's lost his confidence a bit, but because the fans are getting on his back, and he must hear it from the sides. So
oh god, yeah,
every
of course.
player likes to be loved, don't they? And then it doesn't mean that they're going to perform any better if they're loved, but they get confidence when they get on the pitch. Well, they will. I'll retract that. They will perform better because they'll feel the love of the fans, and then they'll want to play for the fans.
Less pressure on their backs.
Exactly. And when Solanke comes, and those balls will be met by Solanke, because you got to look at the last time we scored a proper header is when Kane was there. None of our front three headed the ball. They always try and use their feet. Solanke scores with his head. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what Solanke can do.
And his first home debut is going to be against Arsenal.
That's awesome.
He's going to be pumped up for it because it's in front of the fans.
Oh hell yeah, absolutely. And I see everyone has been so great in the chat today. Everybody, I appreciate all of you. Y'all are great people. I'm very very glad to have all y'all here. Roundtable Talk says, I like Madison. I don't think it'll be long before Bergvall overtakes him.
I agree with that.
Interesting. Okay, so guys, a couple more questions, and then I got to run and get ready for work. So
you got to earn the money.
So if Ange, right? Sadly, I wish I didn't. If Ange was to go, I guess no one in here is Ange out really, and that's nice. So this question is harder to answer, but I was gonna, if there was anybody that was, I was gonna say, would you be okay if Ryan Mason were to come in if Ange were to get the sack? Because honestly, that's the most likely outcome, I think. If Ange gets fired, Ryan Mason steps in and does his Ryan Mason thing. And is that any better?
No.
Is that?
No.
And I agree. No. Everyone says, why should we stick with a manager? Why should we stick with a manager just because the next guy might be worse? Well, to me, it's because the next guy is going to be Ryan Mason. And I've already seen that car crash happen a few times.
Colin, you have to understand, he was given a 4-year contract as a project. We got to stop. They've got to have the chance to finish the project. Look at Arteta. He's not really done much.
Yes.
They gave him time. They're constantly competing. Alex Ferguson doing nothing for 4 years, was close to being sacked. Best manager in the Premier League history.
Yeah.
They need time. If it's 3 games in, there's still 35 to go. You got European, you got other competitions. Just relax. But I don't want Mason. If he goes, I want someone that's gonna come in. Personally, I'd say Tuchel. That's who I wanted Arne Slot, but it's not gonna happen. But I can't have Mason again. No.
Look at this. I'm glad everyone is on my side here. Destiny says, "Oh my God, if I see Mason, I will cry." Tequila says, "Not Mason, please, not again." Spurs bench. Johnny saying, "No, Mason." And yeah. So, Alan, I know that you're not Ange out, so this question isn't exactly directed at you. But I was going to say, it seems like Ryan Mason is the obvious person who would step in if Ange were to leave. Would we be any better off with Ryan Mason than we are with Ange?
We'd be way worse. No way. No, right? I don't see how Ryan Mason is it. Look, the fact that he has had 2 opportunities to kind of coach our team is, quite frankly, too many times. But he's had his opportunities. He was vetted, and I think they all looked at him and said, "You know what? This is just not." Maybe he's like a championship side or a League One side kind of coach. I think he needs
let him coach over there. Get an identity. Have an actual way that he plays, because all he does is step in and play a watered down version of whatever manager was already there. He doesn't He doesn't have any. There's nothing. There's wait, is it much of a muchness? I'm trying to think of that. There's another.
I was going to say as well, like, if it was going to be Mason, I'd rather have Robert Velman from the women's team because at least he knows
Robert Villaharm is a good manager.
He's a good manager. I like him. And so I'd rather have him than Mason.
Yeah. Mason's
not
the guy.
No.
Yeah.
We've got too many pretty girls for him to switch to the men's team.
Hey,
it's a weird setup though. Because when I went to Hotspur Way, because I got invited to go there because I was lucky enough to get tickets to see the women train.
Nice.
Wow. It's such a weird setup compared to the men's because the men's is full of security. You can't get nowhere near that. But when it comes to the women's side, you can just pretty much walk in when you're inside. It's crazy.
It's like, I know, it's just Beth England is sort of treated like a queen. I'm glad you mentioned that because I'm going to also be going to Hotspur Way very soon. I've been keeping it on hold because I wanted the girls to get into training, and then when they've played their first match, there's a gentleman who looks after them, the commercial director, a gentleman called Alex who looks after them. They know about me, so that I'm their ambassador for her game too. So I want to go and interview Beth England. I wish Gracie Clinton still stayed, but we've just signed an Australian striker called Hayley Risso, who's a very competent striker, and we need somebody up top because we've got Beth England who's aging. Yeah. But she's still top notch. She's still good, a really, really good player, but she won't be able to last the whole season, I don't think. So I reckon that's a good buy. And I hope we can better our sixth position.
Yeah, I was sad to see Celine
win it this time. Say that again, Jamie.
I was sad to see Celine leave yesterday.
Yeah,
I thought she was pretty decent,
isn't it? Celine Bissett, yeah.
Because when I was there, I was talking to her. She's such down to earth.
She is really so well loved at the club as well. She's a barrel of joy. You know, when she goes on that training pitch, I've seen her a couple of times because I've seen the girls train. Before when they got promoted, I used to go to their games a lot before they got promoted, and then I still was going, but not so regularly because they played at Barnet, which is really a bitch to get to. And then they moved to Leighton Orient. Then I can go to that because it's really easy to get to Leighton Orient from where I live.
I live in Surrey, so it used to take me ages to get to the Barnet ground. It's just as bad as Leighton Orient.
It's in the sticks, isn't it, Jamie? And it's like in an awkward place. And there's no.
You get off the train, you're like, where the hell
am I? You there. You've got to go by cab, really, or drive. Yeah.
Well, I went to the final at Wembley because I got tickets.
Yes, so did I.
I
went with Ben Kaufman. Ben Kaufman. Yeah,
Ben said he's that day.
Even
Ben's
though
on his way
lost,
back from Harry Potter World, he says. Sorry, Elliot,
I was
cut
so
you off.
proud of the girls, right? But they didn't play to their potential. But I was so proud of the girls to get there in the first place. Right, and because they're my team, right, I used to play for them. But you know what I liked most, right? They were very gracious in defeat, and a lot of teams, they're not. And I find that's from Robert Villaharm. I thought, you know, he makes sure that the girls are very sporting, you know. But it was unfortunate we lost 4-0 and we didn't give a good account of ourselves. But Beth England, she did. She actually played really, really well. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And now they've asked for Gracie Clinton back, who was absolutely performing brilliant last season.
She was brilliant.
She was excellent. Honestly,
I need to educate myself more on the women's team.
Player. She's so.
Ellie, someday we're gonna have a long talk, and you're gonna have to teach me all about the women's team, Ellie, because I don't know anything about them. Really.
No, it's okay. I'll send you their pictures as well, because it's nice to put a face to the name as well. And I'll send you all the squad. You can go on Spurs' website, and they've got a whole section for women as well, where you can look at all the players.
Nice. Yeah, I'll have to do so.
Yeah, well, if you went on my Instagram, Colin,
I'll keep you informed. Don't worry, Colin. I'll keep you informed.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you both. Jamie, you said something about your Insta?
Yeah, no. If you went on my Instagram, you can see the day at Hotspur Way, because I met Jermaine Defoe inside the training ground as well.
Nice one.
Holy smokes, that's awesome, dude. Jermaine Defoe's class act.
What's your Instagram hook?
It's jamie.imber, I think it is.
Nice.
Jamie.what?
Imber, IMBER.
Imba.
Yeah. So I'm because when I got
I'll go on it now.
Do you know when Spurs send out the promotional? It goes, "Oh, win a chance to meet the team or not." I got the women's team, so my partner found in 6, so she could drive us there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
hopefully her employer's not watching this show.
Yeah,
no, I doubt it. But no, there was a guy called Joseph who got us in, and then it was it's just an amazing day. Like the women were really gracious to you. Like Robert didn't talk to us because I think he was planning obviously the training and stuff. But every one of the women, they literally took their time with their fans. There's only like 8 of us there, and they took time. Like Beth England was brilliant. Like I got the whole shirt signed, and I was like pissing down in rain. I was so nervous because obviously Beth England's. I love Beth England. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
But,
her physique is brilliant, isn't it, Jamie? Her physique.
She's a bit of a crush, Jamie.
Oh yeah, definitely got a crush. She was like
she's solid. All the girls, they're all good.
They are, and like even Becky Spencer, like because that's the day we went the day after she's done the penalty saves when we got to the final. Becky was brilliant. So she didn't know what to say to him. It was like, "Oh, well done on the stage." She went, "Oh, thanks, dude." I was like, "Oh."
Audio agrees. Says he does love a bit of Becky Spencer as well.
Yeah,
and then we got Norman Lamont. Norman Lamont's in the house from New South Wales. Says good morning. From Oz, it's 2:30 a.m. in New South Wales. What are you doing awake, my man? You need some rest. But
he's an insomniac like us.
But that isn't to say I don't appreciate having you here because I sure as hell do. And while I'm on that, it looks like everybody's been hitting the like. But if you haven't, just click it if you could. That'd be cool. Can
I ask one question? It's to Ellie, really. Ellie, did you do the fans forum? Did you get an email?
I haven't checked my email, but I'm going to check.
Because you got to do it by Friday or today to if you get accepted to be at the fans forum on Tuesday.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
So today's your final day, Ellie.
Yeah, I missed out on it.
What do you have to do? Do you just have to write to the club?
No, they send you an email and say you've been invited.
Oh right.
I don't know if
they invite you. You don't put yourself forward.
Yeah, you put yourself forward.
All right, I'm going to check because I'm Spurs Ladies Ambassador. I've got to be there. Come on.
Yeah, I applied last year and I didn't get in, so I hope this year I do get in. But it's going to be on Spurs Play anyway on Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then David said, big up to Leicester City's lawyers finding a loophole to avoid a points deduction, and they screwed the FA. Said they legally extended their tax year to 13 months. That took them outside the date when the Premier League charged them. Hilarious. There's all kinds of, rules don't seem to matter to anybody anymore. As long as you've got the money and the lawyers, you can kind of get away with whatever you want. But guys, this is going to be my final question of the show, and I hate it because it's been such a good show. I don't want to end it, but I have to sadly answer the phone calls of angry people whose internet doesn't work. I can't wait. But
you're salivating.
Oh my gosh, can you tell? I'm so excited. But so Memphis to pay Depay, on a free. I've heard some rumors. Would you take him, Ellie?
No.
I see his wages must be astronomical, but if he came on a free, you could kind of offset it.
I wouldn't take him. He's quite he comes across as quite a selfish player. Yeah. Whenever I've seen him, he's never really impressed me.
He's not, and he's like a weird winger striker.
Early doors. Yeah. No, I wouldn't take him. No.
Boom. Simple answer, and I loved it. So, Jamie, what about you, though? Would you take Memphis?
No, I think he comes across quite arrogant. So, like Ange said, it only takes one person to ruin the whole reputation. I won't have him in.
Boom. Alan, you agreeing with the group here?
I don't know. When it comes to arrogance and stuff, I guess maybe with it. I'm used to arrogant players like in the NFL and in baseball and stuff. Like, I haven't seen, like the Padres, the San Diego Padres, the baseball team, my local team, and we have some very arrogant players. Manny Machado's very arrogant, and we got a lot of players that are arrogant. But without them, we would be really, really bad. And I could see.
I froze for a second. Sorry about that.
I could see someone like Memphis Depay. Look, Ivan Toney. I wanted Ivan Toney, and I think Ivan Toney probably has a bit of that sass, that arrogance, that I think Tottenham doesn't have. We don't really have arrogant players. I think the closest we come is the way
Madison.
James Madison kind of plays on field when he gets quote unquote injured on the field. But we need a player like that. Someone that's kind of a bit of a shithouse, and I think Memphis Depay kind of is a little bit like that.
He believes in
he is
himself
attractive,
a lot.
I think, to Tottenham because he's a free agent. So there's no real. From what I read, Corinthians are in for him.
Jesus Christ! Wow. Okay, interesting. That's quite a drop off between Corinthians and Tottenham.
Right. So I could see that he would want Tottenham, and hopefully maybe because we would want him, or he would want us more than we need him. Maybe his attitude won't be so bad. But attitude in itself doesn't dissuade me. He can be okay. And if Solanke is going to be injured, now that we know that he is injury prone, even though he wasn't at Bournemouth, but it's the Tottenham curse, I guess. And with Richarlison injured, we kind of need someone there. And if we can get someone on a free, I don't think the wages are going to be a big deal, even whatever his wages are. It's the same thing with Werner, right? We got him on a loan spell, so really it's just his wages. I don't really think about the wages the same way. It's not my money, but
but why? Okay, so
he can do the job. He didn't do the job. Where was he, at Barca?
Yeah,
he didn't do the job. He didn't do the job there, but they have Lewandowski. So I mean, he kind of got supplanted. And if I could have Lewandowski, I would have him.
The power raps as well, says Destiny. If he wants to hop on a track with me, we can rap together. It'll be great.
Yeah,
I would say though,
he would finish all those tap-ins. He would.
Yeah. Yes, Memphis Depay in that position. Exactly, Ellie. Rather than playing Son in the middle or Kulu in the middle, if you have a Memphis Depay, he puts in one or two of those goals, those crosses. He just does. Because he's that way. So
yeah.
I think if Depay's going to come to the Premier League, there's two clubs that I reckon he'd go to. It'd be Newcastle because they didn't sign anyone, or Nottingham Forest because they like spending big wages, don't they, Forest? Because they got to be the owner.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And if they were to lose Ivan Toney, you know what I mean?
But
Tony's at Brentford. Tony's at Brentford. Jesus Christ! I'm sorry. I'm not that dumb.
No, Tony's at Al Ali.
He left. He went to the Saudi league.
He went to the Saudi league. Do you believe that? Nobody wanted to
$400K a week after tax.
Yeah.
I was
so
did
Steven Bergwijn.
Oh, Bergwijn did too. Cool.
Bergwijn. Coleman said he's no longer allowed to play for the national side.
Make your money, fellas. I don't mind. I mean, I wouldn't do it, but Tekken says in my blocked. No, Tekken, you're not blocked, man.
It's a shame. Because Ivan Toney, I think he's only 25.
I've put up a couple of your comments, Tech. You're not at all blocked.
How old is Depay?
He's 30.
Yeah. Okay. He's still got a few years.
Yeah, he's got a few more years.
So to answer your question, on a free, as a free agent, signing him without competition, I wouldn't hate on that. I wouldn't hate on it, any more than I would hate on Werner or anything like that. And I don't hate on Werner. Other people do, but I don't.
But would Depay suit Ange's system? Because if he's 30, has he got the legs to get in the box?
I mean, says that
all he would need to do is tap in some of those crosses that we were putting in, like against Newcastle. I think he could do it.
Hey, can one of the mods make sure that Tekken is not blocked in the chat? So Nick, if you could make sure that Tekken's good. I just don't want him to be blocked. There's no reason for him to be. So yeah, if you could check on that, that would be swell. And sorry about that. I'm not trying to cut everybody off, but I just want everybody. Oh my God, Mark said that if he was 15, we'd definitely sign him. Good shit, Mark Cousins. I love you, man. And okay, but guys, I really do got to go. The last thing I wanted to say,
Colin.
is everybody,
Man.
thank you so much for being on. There's a couple other things I needed to do. Jonathan, thanks for becoming a member. We do member shows as often as I can. I got Tuesdays and Saturdays off of work, which is bizarre in and of itself. But so I got those 2 days off, and so I try to do a member show one day of the week, one of those 2 days. So stand by. I would love to have you on and get your point of view on things, and meet you. And then Pete gave out 5 memberships today. Pete, thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much. Yes. And Audio says he's rather give minutes to Mikey more than sign to Pi. It's kind of where I'm at. And
Mikey Moore, what a talent.
Absolutely. And so are you guys sort of, real quick, last question I'll leave with is, would you rather see Son or Lancashire if we are without our 2 senior strikers? Who would you rather have up top? And I'll start with Ellie. Who would you rather have?
Go for Sonny. Although Lancashire's a very good talent, I wouldn't put him down at all because he's a fantastic striker, and he scored 28 goals in 29 games, something like that. But I would stick with Sonny because I've always loved Sonny. He's given his all to our club, so I wouldn't be able to drop him. Sorry.
No. Absolutely. I was thinking Sonny. I was thinking Sonny on the left, and then Lancashire maybe just leading the line because he's just more of a traditional forward, But Alan, what about you, buddy?
I'd go with Will Lancashire. I think it seems like we're in the middle of the transition to the younger players. Will Lancashire's a bigger guy than Sonny. I don't think he would get bullied in the box. He would go for headers, and he looks like a young kind of Kane. And let's give him a chance at least. Worst case is he doesn't do it as well, but he needs time, and then he could always sub in Son, like in a second half or something like that. But I think we would transition Will Lancashire.
And then Jamie, what about you on that one?
Yeah, for me, Lancashire. He's good at holding the ball. I'll try Sonny on the right for a change and Johnson on the left, and then Lancashire up front.
Interesting, yeah. And Destiny points out Lancashire's built like a man. He sure as hell is.
Koreans are going to be writing in.
Yeah, no kidding.
South Koreans.
I was going to say I just lost half my subs.
Koreans, the way they support Sonny in particular. But they do love Spurs as well.
I was going to say it makes me mad that sometimes people put down foreign fans because there might be a player that made you fall in love with Spurs, and it's Sonny for a lot of the Korean fans. But there's players that made me fall in love with Spurs. I fell in love with Spurs because of Aaron Lennon and Gareth Bale. Does that make me?
They actually go in the mad section where I go in 252 in the South Stand. Yeah, and they're all lovely and they're so infectious. They've all got something to say about the club. They know a lot about our history as well, which I wasn't surprised. I was very happy about that. They know about the club, and they're such infectious fans. I love them. They bring a lot of joy to White Lane.
I just feel like
Levy.
True that, but everybody supports Spurs for a reason and started supporting Spurs for a reason, and for a lot of people it's a specific player or players, and so who gives a shit if it's Sonny? That's the reason why they become a supporter. They're I don't know. So I feel like people get a lot of hate sometimes for coming from a certain part of the world or supporting a certain player, and just. All love, baby. All love from me. Everybody love everybody. ELE. And then look at this. Right as we're leaving, Eltel says, "Come on, you Spurs." So I'm gonna end this with what I always say. And I'll give everybody last words. My last words are: be good to yourself. Be good to other people. Try to do something nice for somebody today. Is what I got. And we'll go around in a circle. Alan, parting words.
Don't do anything crazy during the international break. I know it's an international break, and we all kind of hate that because it just started again. The season did, but have a great rest of your week, and looking forward to the North London derby.
Boom, boom, boom! I love it. I love it. I'm looking forward to it too. Jamie.
Okay. Support each other. Look after each other, and Life's too short. There's no need for hate. Just support.
Boom. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then Els, what about you?
I would say to people, avoid the internationals, go and have a party and celebrate us beating Arsenal in the a pre-celebration of our win against Arsenal. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. And everybody, tomorrow, is tomorrow Friday already? Woo, that's lovely. Thank God. Thank God. So tomorrow we're having a prediction show on El Tal Cockerel. It's a bonus week. So come and hang out. The teams that are going to be, the matches are a secret. You got to come and find out. So everybody make sure to come over to El Tal tomorrow. And then
I won't be able to do that because I'm going to be on the TV show. Tomorrow.
You son of a gun. What TV show?
I'm in the audience. I'm only going to be in the audience.
That's sick though, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Which show are you going to be in the audience for?
Are you going to let us know what TV show?
I'm going to see A League of Their Own being filmed.
Nice.
Whoa, nice, dude.
So finally, after 3 years, I got a ticket. So I won't be able to do the show.
That's wonderful,
that show's really good. I like that.
Yeah, hoping to see Jamie Redknapp, try and get a picture of him because I tried to get one back in 2002 and it didn't work.
Hey, Spurs Bench. Spurs Bench. What's the link to your page? I can't believe I didn't have it.
Yeah, big up the Orient and their pie and mash. Yeah.
Yeah, but so this is a really cool channel. Anyway, I will we'll get your link out there, man. I'm sad that I don't have it right now, but I really do got to run. But it's going to be a really cool channel where everyone gets a chance to send in a clip of themselves. We're going to cut them down to a minute. I say I'm offering to help. Cut them down to a minute, and everybody gets their chance to have a say about whatever you want, anything. So it's a pretty neat idea for a channel, and I think it's going to be a great one. So everybody, keep your eyes peeled for Spurs Bench, the newest, awesomest Spurs channel coming out. All right, everybody. For real, got to go this time. I'm going to play it out with, you guessed it, the Keeper West Ham song. Bye!